Hello, everybody. Board Game Lawyer here. It's Friday evening, and I just received in the mail today the latest hero for the card game Marvel Champions, the game by Fantasy Flight Games. Yes, indeed, Magneto has switched sides, and he is now going to be considered a hero in the game. Unfortunate in some ways, but fortunate that we get to play with him as a hero. So let's take a look inside and see what is included inside this brand new hero pack from Marvel Champions. All right. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I've been pretty excited to get Magneto for quite some time. He's one of my favorite villains. So let's find out if he's going to be one of my favorite heroes in the game. All right. Okay. We'll get into the pack here. As we know, we typically have some rules to look at, so we'll set our packaging aside for now. And let's crack open the rules and see if there's anything at a glance that we need to look at as far as new rules for the game. It says a new card type, player side scheme. If you've played the game, you know what that is. Feature keyword linked card title. Cards with a linked keyword cannot be included in a player's deck. Instead, they're set aside at the start of the game. If any player's deck includes a card that brings the linked cards into play indicated in the parentheses following the keyword, linked key cards do not count towards the minimum or maximum deck size. Okay. So that's an interesting new keyword, linked. There's also a featured keyword steady. There's the keyword villainous, victory X. If you've played before, then you know, or if you've been playing for any length of time, you know what a lot of these keywords are. So then the credits here are Caleb Grace, Tony Fanchi, Molly Glover, as well as a whole cast of MVP supporting cast. All right, and we got our poster here of Magneto. Really cool. I like the outfit. All right, let's get a drink. Let's get into the pack. Now, I will admit, I avoid spoilers typically. Unless they're official spoilers from FFG, I generally watch those. But until I actually get my cards in hand, I try to avoid watching videos, playthroughs, or anything of a new hero because I want to be surprised whenever I open up the pack. And I know that a lot of cards in here have been spoiled for me already. It's not really spoiled anymore, I guess, because it's been out for a week. Took a little extra time for the place that I ordered these from to get it from me this time. So, but that's okay. I've been busy. There's plenty of other heroes to play with. Plenty of heroes to play with, but not enough time is what I'm finding in my case. Okay, so here's our pack. Here is Magneto. He is a thwart of 2, an attack of 2, defense of 2, so he's got well-rounded stats there. He is an X-Men hero with magnetic pull. Action, discard cards from the top of your deck until a magnetic card is discarded. Add that card to your hand, limit once per round. So magnetic card is discarded. So I guess we'll see what those magnetic cards are as we go. And let's take a look at the other side. So he is Eric Lyncher, who has a recovery of 3. He's a mutant. In his alter ego form, it says that he is a survivor, which is a response. After you change this form, shuffle the top 3 cards of your discard pile into your deck. Okay. So in both instances, in this case, we can go discard cards from top of your deck until we find a magnetic card. And this one is, after you change this form, shuffle the top 3 cards of your discard pile into your deck. Okay. So that's Eric Lyncher. That is our hero, Magneto. I'll set him over here. Next we have a support, which is Asteroid M. That's home to Magneto, I believe. It is a location magnetic, and so we saw that there was a text that relates to magnetic cards. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a magnetic card. Add that card to your hand. So he has a hand size of 5, so actually in hero form, You can get a hand size of 6. You just have to burn through your deck. Depends on a lot too on how many magnetic cards we come across in our deck today. So it says exhaust asteroid M, shuffle the topmost magnetic card in your discard pile into your deck and heal 1 damage from your identity. So that's an alter ego action, asteroid M. And that is a unique card, so we'll set that support over there. Next we have an upgrade, which is Magneto's helmet. It's armor magnetic, so we have 2 magnetic cards so far. Magneto gains steady. Resource, exhaust Magneto's helmet. Generate a wild resource for a magnetic card. All right, so that's Magneto's helmet. All right, we'll set that over there. So that's an upgrade. We have another upgrade, which is Magneto's armor. It's another magnetic card. Response, after you resolve your magnetic pull, which magnetic pull, so you discard cards. If you discard at least one of the following resource icons, Magneto gets +1 thwart, or +1 attack, or +1 defense, depending upon the icon on the discarded cards. So you do discard until a magnetic card is discarded. So even if the top card is magnetic, it's liable to have one of these, unless it's a wild, like on Asteroid M. It's liable to have each of the following resources. I guess it doesn't say printed. So you can use that wild resource probably for any of these then. Nice. So that's another upgrade. And here's another upgrade. It's Magneto's cape. Magneto gains the aerial trait. Response, after you resolve your magnetic pull ability, exhaust Magneto's cape and ready Magneto. Okay. We've seen cards similar to that before where you can ready yourself after you do a particular action. So that's another upgrade. We've got another upgrade. Yet another one. It's a magnetic bubble. It says Magneto gains retaliate of 1. That's beautiful. When force interrupt, when you would take any amount of damage, place it here. Then if there's at least 6 damage here, discard magnetic bubble. Oh, wow. So you get to retaliate while he's doing damage to you. Interesting. That was a force interrupt. All right, so there's another upgrade. Another upgrade. Wow. And this is called Wrapped in Metal. It costs 2. It's one of the cheaper ones I've seen so far. Wrapped in Metal, hero form only. Attached to a non-elite minion. Attached minion cannot activate. Treat its printed text box as if it were blank. This is hero form only. Attached to a non-elite minion. Cannot activate. Wow. So that just neuters. And you get a couple of these Wrapped in Metal. And these are, again, upgrades that go on to non-elite minions. Excellent. All right, so now we have an event. It's a electromagnetic blast. It's another, so far I think all the cards have said magnetic on it. Yeah, they have. So far all of the hero cards have the magnetic trait on it. This is also a superpower with thwart. Hero action, remove 3 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat from that scheme, you may discard an attachment with the text hero action or hero response. Very handy, because oftentimes hero actions or hero responses require you to spin cards anyway. So in this case, you're removing 3 threat for 2, and you can get rid of those pesky hero action or hero response cards, and that's nice. So you got at least 1, 2, so there's 2 of those. Another event is Metal Shards. Attack, magnetic superpower. Hero action, attack, deal 7 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, gain a tough status card. So a 3 cost for 7 damage, and it's a superpower. So you could use like a Def Focus with this. So that would be awesome. So here's Metal Shards, and you get 2 copies of that. Magnetic Missile, looks like you get a couple copies of this. It says hero action, discard a minion with Wrapped in Metal attached, deal 5 damage to an enemy and stun it. Okay, so you can wrap somebody up in metal and then use them as a magnetic missile for a 1 cost. Pretty slick. I like it. So it's another event for Magneto. You get 2 copies of that. So these are your events. So far there's 1 support, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 upgrades, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events. 1, 2, 3. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15. And so Master of Magnetism is a resource card, a double resource card, with both an energy and a mental resource on it. And it's magnetic too. Wow, so all the cards in his kit look like they're magnetic. Yep. There we go. So that is his hero kit. I like it. Looks like a lot of fun. Got some 3-costers in there. Got some 1s and 2s. So it's kind of a balanced cost curve. On Magneto. All right. Let's take a look at, here we have an ally, M, Monet St. Croix. It's a 4-cost ally, 2 thwart, 3 attack. It's got on its 3 attack, it's got 2 consequential damage. Psionic X-Men response. After M enters play, defeat a minion with fewer remaining hit points than M. Okay, good. So 4 hit points. Oftentimes you'll have a minion with less hit points than M, especially if it's taken damage already. So I like M. That's good. And that's a leadership card, so we're going to start seeing leadership coming out. Next, so we have Kid Omega, who is another ally. After Kid Omega enters play, choose, spend a energy resource, deal 1 damage to each enemy. Or you can choose to spend a mental resource to remove 1 threat from each scheme. That is Kid Omega. He gives you a choice. When he enters play, you choose which one of those you want to do. All right. Well, there's an energy and a mental on here, but it says to choose. So you have to pick one or the other. All right, that's Kid Omega. Next we have, all right, Phoenix. We got Phoenix. Jean Grey as an ally. She has a thwart of 2 and an attack of 1. She's a Psionic X-Men with 3 health. Response, after Phoenix enters play, choose an X-Men ally, ready that ally, and heal 1 damage from it. Okay. Healing a damage from an X-Men ally. So far we have, these are all X-Men allies so far, so that's good. It's part of the pre-con deck. Then we have Cyclops, who is also an X-Men with a thwart of 2 and attack of 2, 2 on his health. Response, after Cyclops enters play, choose an enemy until the end of the phase. Increase the amount of damage that enemy takes from each attack by 1. All right, that is Cyclops. Next we have Won't Stay Down. This is a support. So now we're into supports. Won't Stay Down. Play only if your identity has the X-Force or X-Men trait. Max 1 per player. Alter Ego action. Discard this card. Return an X-Force or X-Men ally from your discard pile to your hand. Okay, so this is a support that stays out there until it's discarded in Alter Ego form, and you can go fetch one of your allies that you lost or discarded into your hand, as long as they're X-Force or X-Men, which in each case here is all X-Men. So it won't stay down. You get 1, looks like a full round, full set of those. Won't stay down. So those are our supports. Now we have an event which is squared off. Hero action, discard cards from the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that in the minion in play. Engage with you. Play an ally from your hand, reducing its cost by 3. Okay, so discard cards until you discard a minion. So this would be good for something like Thor. Thor would be good because you want to go find that minion, put the minion into play, and you can reduce an ally from your hand by 3. And it looks like all of these allies, except for Kid Omega, are pretty expensive to put out. Phoenix, Cyclops, or M. So it's like, this is 1 resource to get a minion on the table, and then you can basically put 3 of the 4 allies into play for free for one card, essentially. So that's an event. Should get 3 of those to get a complete set. Yep, that's a new card. Next we have Noble Sacrifice, which is another event. It says discard an ally you control, heal damage from your hero equal to that ally's printed hit points, and give your hero a tough status card. Discard an ally you control. Heal damage equal to its printed hit points. Give your hero a tough status card. So 1 cost to get rid of that ally that's getting ready to go out anyway. Okay. All right. So an ally you control will be one that you have on the table. So that's Noble Sacrifice. And those are all events. So we get a lot of events in the pre-con. Next we have You Got This, which is a tactic. Okay, Noble Sacrifice was a tactic. And we know that Scott Summers' Cyclops hero likes tactics, so this is a way to maybe shore up his deck. Is You Got This. Hero response. After you exhaust your hero to make a basic thwart or attack, discard an ally you control and add that ally's matching power to your hero's power for this use and ready your hero. After you exhaust your hero to make a basic thwart or attack, then you discard that ally you control, add its power to your hero, and then ready him. So if you got your hero, get it out pretty well, and you want to ready him back up again, You Got This. It's a good card to play. And how many of those we get? We get 1, 2, 3 of those. Next, we have our New Recruits, which is a player's side scheme. It says the dream of every student at Xavier School is to join the X-Men. So it costs 0 to put it out on the table. It has a victory of 0. It says play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. When defeated, each player chooses 1 set-aside new ally and adds it to their hand. A set-aside new ally. Let's put that aside for now. And let's take a look at the White Queen. So the White Queen is a ally who costs 3. She has a thwart of 2, an attack of 1, Psionic X-Men, 3 health. Play only if your identity has the X-Force or X-Men trait response. After White Queen enters play, discard a status card from a character. Okay. It's a way to get rid of those pesky status cards. And that is White Queen. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a leadership deck, which is probably about the minimum that you would want in leadership. So that's good to have White Queen. Next, we're going to Face the Past. It's an event that costs 0, and you only get 1, and it says max 1 per deck. Hero action. Search the encounter deck for discard pile and set aside area for your Nemesis minion and reveal it. Ooh. Ready your hero and draw 3 cards. You cannot attack the villain this phase. Remove this card from the game. Face the Past. You fetch your Nemesis minion. Okay. And once you do that, you can draw cards, ready yourself. That's kind of a double-edged sword, but it sounds like a really fun one. So that's going to be fun to play with. Face the Past. Good card. Oh, and we get some Death Focused. That's good. Get 3 copies of Death Focus. We've seen that before. It says hero action, exhaust Death Focus, reduce the resource cost of the next superpower card you play. Superpower card you play this turn by 1. So we did see some superpower cards in his hero kit, and you get 3 copies of Death Focus. You can have max of 1 per player. All right, and then we got our round of resources, energy, genius, and strength that typically come as part of your hero kit. There's a few heroes that don't have those in it, but that's probably the most popular, common cards in the game is those energy, genius, and strength cards. Now we've reached our obligation. Old grievances. Give the Eric Lyncher player force response. After you use your magnetic pull ability, take 1 damage for each card discarded by it. Ooh. Alter ego action. Exhaust Eric Lyncher and discard old grievances. So, not your typical obligation. This is one that really stymies Magneto's abilities. Could take a lot of damage for doing so. And you want to get rid of it as quickly as possible, so you have to flip down into your alter ego form. Exhaust Eric Lyncher, discard old grievances. So there is his obligation. Ooh, Exodus. I remember now that he was the nemesis minion of Magneto. So Exodus. This is a Omega level mutant. So we should expect big things from Exodus. He has a scheme of 2, an attack of 2. He is steady, toughness, and villainous. He's an alkalite who is elite. He's psionic. He's got 6 health. He has 3 boost icons, and he has a force response. After Exodus attacks you, discard cards from the top of your deck equal to his total attack. Now, he is a villain, so he will draw a card, which will bump up his attack value. So you could have to discard a lot of cards after he attacks you. And since he's got steady, toughness, villainous, Exodus may be on the table for a while. So there's our Nemesis minion. I love him. Exodus. Good one. Good one for Magneto. All right. He's a good counter to Magneto. Martyr for Mutants is his side scheme. Magneto's Nemesis side scheme. Magneto's former alkalites felt betrayed by their leader's change of heart about mutant and human coexistence. When defeated, the defeating player discards the top 9 cards of their deck. Ooh. And it has an amplify icon on it. So, yeah, this is out on the table. You draw a card for his villainous ability, the boost for Exodus's. And if this is still on the table, you add 1. So his attack could go up considerably because of that side scheme that's out there on the table. What else do we have? We have Fabian Cortez, who is a minion. Wow. So we got lots of minions popping out. Alkalites. Who is a guard. When defeated, the defeating player discards the top 4 cards of their deck. He's a guard. 4 health. So this one would actually get shuffled into your... Let's see. Magneto Nemesis. Yeah, this is Magneto's minion. And so this is one of those that'll get shuffled into your deck, Fabian Cortez. It tells you on the actual Nemesis which one is Magneto's Nemesis. And we've got Frenzy, which is another minion who has Quick Strike, Scheme of 2, Attack of 2. With a force response, after Frenzy attacks you, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. So you're discarding your cards like crazy with this Frenzy here. Yeah, you're really burning through your deck. And it's a Quick Strike, so Quick Strike's going to hit you with a Frenzy right out of the gate. Then we have the Angry Acolyte. When revealed, each Alkalite minion engaged with a player activates against that player. If no minion activates this way, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an Alkalite minion is discarded. Reveal that minion. So you may have Frenzy or Fabian Cortez at your deck, and you've already knocked out Exodus. Well, here's a way to bring a Quick Strike or a Guard out on the table. They could really jam you up. So that's the Angry Acolyte. So that's all the hero cards, the Precon deck, the Obligation, the Nemesis set. We've reached that point where we now have to stop. Remaining cards are not part of the Magneto pre-built deck. Player cards before this divider compose a pre-built deck for Magneto. And then there's always a list on the back. It says the 4 new allies after this divider can be put into play by the new recruit's player side scheme and should be set aside when using Magneto's pre-built deck. Okay, so that's how that works. So we'll put that stop over there. And these, I guess, are the ones right afterwards. We got Surge. We'll just look at these one at a time. It's an ally. Now this is that new recruit's side scheme. And see, it's linked to new recruits. We read that keyword earlier. So Surge costs 2. It's an ally. Thwart of 2, attack of 2. New X-Men. If you have the mutant or X-Men trait, Surge gets +1 attack and does not count against your ally limit. Okay, good. So this is one that will not count towards your ally limit. Let's take a look again at new recruits. It says When defeated, each player chooses one set-aside new ally and adds it to their hand. So this would be one choice, would be Surge. The next choice is Annul. It is a 2-cost 2/2 ally with 2 health. Again, it's linked to new recruits. If you have the Mutant or X-Men trait, Annul gets +1 thwart and does not count against your ally limit. So these new recruits are not going to count towards against your ally limit. Surge gives you a +1 attack. Annul gives you a +1 thwart. I think I can see where these are probably headed. Here's the next one, Bling. 2/2/2. If you have the Mutant or X-Men trait, Bling gains toughness and does not count against your ally limit. Ooh, a tough. Okay, so maybe not. There's a tough new recruit. And then we have Indra, which is a 2/2/2/2. If you have the Mutant or X-Men trait, Indra gets +2 hit points and does not count against your ally limit. So this will be a 4. Okay, so those are the new recruits that you could acquire throughout the game. All right, what's next? Next, we have Children of the Atom, which is a support. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Each X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men character you control gains the X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men traits. All right, so that's Children of the Atom. It's max 1 per player. And it gives all of your X characters all the other X character traits. That's pretty slick. I like that. That was one thing that, that seemed like you were playing either X-Force or X-Men. And there are some X-Factors. We've got Multiple Man. Multiple Man can now play with the rest of these guys. So that's Children of the Atom. It is a card that you'll have to dig for to put out on the table, but then it makes everybody basically on the same team. That's Children of the Atom. You get 3 copies of that. And then finally, it looks like another modular set that we get. It's the Hellfire modular set. And so we'll take a look at these cards. It's a minion who has a scheme of 1, attack of 2. That's Sebastian Shaw. He's from the Hellfire Club. He has 5 health with toughness. He's villainous. Ooh. And it says after Sebastian Shaw is attacked, give him a face-down boost card. He cannot be attacked again this phase. So if you don't hit him for 5, actually he's tough, so unless you do piercing damage of 5, I like Sebastian Shaw. He's got 3 boosts. Nice. Looks like it's going to shape up, Hellfire's going to shape up to be a pretty tough modular set. Then we got Celine. 1/1, scheme and attack, 4 health, another quick strike with villainous. Allies cannot attack Celine. Wow, allies can't help you out with Celine. You got to go after her yourself. Celine. All right, so that's nice. Next, we've got a pawn who has guard, patrol, and surge. Wow, nice. That's a nice pawn there. 1/2 with 3 health. While a minion with the patrol keyword is engaged with you, you cannot thwart the main scheme. You cannot thwart the main scheme while this guy is with you, engage with you. And then we've got the Inner Circle, which is 4 of 5 cards in this Hellfire set. It is a side scheme. It says, when revealed, place 2 additional threat here for each Hellfire card in play. And it has an Amplify icon, which again, Amplify with Villainous really, really ramps up these minions who behave like heroes, so that's pretty cool. And then the last card in the Hellfire set is Power and Decadence. When revealed, give the villain a tough status card. Give this card to the villain as a face-down boost card. And the boost ability says, after this activation, the activating enemy activates against you again. Do not give it a boost card for that activation. Wow. What a sweet set. 5 cards in the Hellfire set, but they are 5 powerful cards. So that is the Magneto Hero Kit. Thanks for bearing with me as I walked slowly through opening the Magneto Hero pack today, but I'm pretty excited to get to the table with this hero pack and start playing. And so I'm going to sleeve up Magneto, and stay tuned. I'll put together a playthrough video, probably taking on one of my favorites, either Claw or Rhino, or maybe Venom, Sandman, uh, Juggernaut. Those would be like ones that I test out new decks against, and try out this new modular set. Pretty excited to do that too. So anyway, I'm the Board Game Lawyer. Thanks for watching my pack opening today of Magneto, and we'll catch you again soon. Thanks, folks. Take care and have a good weekend.